Hey everybody, it's the Mad Master here. I'm doing a video today. I'm going to be doing more videos on my phone in the next several weeks probably because I'm still trying to configure my computer to do better videos with my webcam, which I rebought my old webcam because I thought it broke and I tossed this other webcam. And then I bought another webcam before this rebuying the original webcam model, and it turns out that the new webcam sucked, so I bought the old webcam brand new again. So I'm trying to figure stuff out, but the drummer of my band got me some RAM, so I'm going to be installing that and try to do better videos with my webcam and stuff and edit stuff out a little better. And I also want to return to my satirical videos that I did in 2020 because I was watching a lot of them today, like the Donald Trump is sending mind control rays from Russia or something. Like, there's some good stuff in there. Like, I think that could be a little bit better done instead of all these videos, where I talk in front of my phone. I think there's some potential there. I think I should just start writing down ideas like that because some of those videos I thought were quite good. Unfortunately, like, the algorithms with YouTube didn't really popularize those videos that much, and only a few people saw them, it seems like, or a few hundred people or something. But the one about even the one about I video chat for a better 2021, I was just laughing my ass off because some of those billboards were just insane in 2020. Like, they would show like a kid with a mask and like on a chat thing, like chatting with his friend. Like, it was just preposterous. Like, some of the shit some of the propaganda. I mean, propaganda could be used for different things. I'm not, discounting propaganda of any sort. I'm just saying that the propaganda was so like over the top and hilarious. That was the worst one. I video chat for 2021, better 2021. So yeah, I might bring back some of those more satirical types of videos because I think that they could be a little bit better. It's like those. I know it's kind of like old school Windows Movie Maker. Like, you even watch like Razor Fist, like he has like his original videos. You can just tell he like put a bunch of images in Movie Maker. I don't use Movie Maker. I do use Movie Makers for music stuff because I just rip it in Movie Maker and put the band the album cover picture on there. But other than that, I don't use it for videos. So anyways, this video today is something I did on my webcam, but I decided to do it on my phone instead. And that is about the whole executive order for a climate that Biden was talking about. Now, first of all, the hubris that is involved with, on one hand, or I don't even know if it was a couple of days before, I think it was a couple of days or a week before, it was somewhere around that, of the guy fist bumping the guy who could have killed that, I think it was the Washington Post journalist, Khashoggi or whatever. The hubris involved with doing that, obviously an oil-rich baron from Saudi Arabia, and then coming out and saying he wants to do an executive order about climate. It's just, to me, it smacks of just total hypocrisy and total hubris and total just inanity and inanity, not insanity, but it's inane, and just got me thinking about a lot of some of the commentary, or some of the commentators that I watch were more on the right sometimes. And, they talk about NIMBYism and, how this whole thing with the environmental movement is ingrained with these rich billionaires and these people like that. And the fact of the matter is, if there is anthropogenic or climate, I'm just saying, I have to be careful on YouTube because this is their next thing, by the way. This is their next thing. So you got to be really careful if there's a handmade climate change in your pocket. How about that? Handmade climate change in your pocket. Even if there is, let's just say that it is true, which I for the most part believe it. But that said, I've seen a lot of weird, like, contradictory, oh, shit. Um, contradictory things lately about that. So I'm going to do a little more investigation. So even if you believe that, there's no way that you should buy into the people like Joe Biden, Bill Gates, Al Gore, you name it. You know, these billionaires, Klaus Schwab. You know, hell, even like Elon Musk or William Buffett. You should not trust the wolves to clean up the hen house, so to speak. These people do not have the best interests of other people in mind when they talk about the environmental stuff. Because what are they going to do? So this is what, you know, like Ralph Nader, for example, not a perfect person by any means, but he kind of lived to some extent, to a huge extent, by his own standards, because he rented a bachelor apartment. He drove like a used car. He wore like very like cheap used clothes. This is just what I read. Now he had some kind of problematic stocks, and it could have been part of a mutual fund. That's like one of the, you know, and I've heard some things about his Nader's Raiders or whatever that was kind of controversial too. But for the most part, or at least a huge part, maybe let's say just like 75%, 70%, he was clean to the core. And you contrast that with someone like Bill Gates that talks about the environment. He talks a good game, but he has his hands in all this like crazy shit, this bad, you know, and he has like all these mansions and all these planes and all these cars. I don't know what the extent of that is now, but I know like at least in the 90s and the 2000s, he had like this huge car, like actual gas guzzling car collection and stuff. Will these people give up all their riches, all these billionaires, by, you know, if they really wanted to be serious, they would do something. They would give up. They would live like Ralph Nader, or maybe even more frugal. Give all their riches away before they die too. Like, oh, I'm going to give all the riches away when I die. What the fuck does that do now? You could have like 40 more years to live, like Bill Gates could, you know, or I don't think William Buffett does, but all these rich guys, I'm going to give away all my riches. It's going to all go in my organization. Oh, like that doesn't make any fucking sense anyways. So if they were serious about the climate, these people would stop, you know, flying private jets. They would, you know, to a huge extent, you know, like even Greta, what's her face, the Greta girl, you know, the environmental girl, name escapes me right now. Greta Van Fleet. No, that's not her name. But, you know, Greta, was it Borg? Fuck, I can't remember. It's been a while since we've heard from her, so my brain has so much information. Sometimes there's certain little things that get pushed out for some reason. I've been under a little bit of stress lately too, so even Greta herself, like I think she did actually, like when she came to the States, she did take a boat or something. I read that somewhere. I don't think she like took a plane, or she won't take planes or something. I think she does, but I'm just saying, like, at least like in that instance, that one instance, she wasn't a hypocrite. But these people are fucking hypocrites, and they're NIMBYists too. And you know, they could have all these investments in China or these places that are just raping the planet. And that doesn't make any sense to me. If they really believed, I think it was Obama or someone had this like oceanfront property they bought, or some mansion by the ocean, and they were really talking about how the oceans will be, you know, rising and stuff, but then they bought this. It was just totally hypocritical. So even if, you know, even if you do believe in this stuff, you got to say these people handling it is like, you know, if a neo-Nazi joined the ADL, it doesn't make a lick of sense at all. You know, it doesn't make any sense. They would not be doing these things and not be supporting, you know, a lot of what they support. And there are, like I said, through history, there are people that have walked the walk and talked the talk, but I don't think most of these people do. I think they're full of shit, and I think there is a grift going on too, to some extent, with some of these companies and stuff that these people form. You know, I mean, just like Al Gore, he had like the carbon credits thing, you know, these stocks and stuff, and these different companies and all this shit. I'm not saying that he doesn't believe it at all. It's kind of like, you know, Pat Robertson. Does he believe in Jesus? Probably on some level he does, but he kind of, cognitively, you know, destroys like cognitive dissonance comes in where he loves his diamonds and he loves his riches, but he also in some weird convoluted way believes in Jesus. So I think some of these people actually still believe in what they're doing. I mean, not what they're doing, but you know, that this stuff exists. So, but yeah, I just thought I'd put a short word on that. And I think Joe Biden is like, you know, historically, he's been one of the biggest neoliberals on the planet. I'm sure he voted for all the trade bills. I'm sure he's voted for all the free trade bills, I should say. WTO, you know, that's the whole thing with Al Gore. It's like, oh, I support the WTO. I thought you were environmentalists. So I'm going to go into more about that, because I've already gone into that in previous videos, what I was about to say about that. But yeah, so I don't think these people are to be trusted at all who talk about this stuff, unless they're actually walking the walk, like Ralph Nader, and you know, to up until like maybe 2016 or 2020, I'd say Bernie Sanders did walk the walk, but he is totally off the pasture now, or you know, off the, you know, whatever you want to call it. So it's pretty sad when that happens. I mean, I guess it's not as bad as faking, you know, a pair of handcuffs like AOC just did, but anyways. So yeah, I don't think that these people are to be trusted. I think that if they were led by someone that was a billionaire and gave up all their riches, literally, like rode a bike everywhere, lived in a small apartment, let's say that they actually did this, but they have this huge environmental organization, but that's what they did. They rode a bike everywhere. They had solar panels on their little, like, one of those mini homes or whatever. They didn't own anything. Hey, they lived in a pod, even ate bugs, and they were happy. No, I had to throw that in there, but you know, it's you know, it's something to think about, though. I mean, if you don't walk the walk, or if you don't walk the walk, don't talk the talk, because you're going to seem like a hypocrite. That's exactly what people have been talking about on the right for years. That the left, or liberals in particular, because there's a difference between left and liberals. It's kind of a weird, convoluted thing that, you know, you learn as far as if you learn about political affiliations and stuff. That's a different thing. I'm not talking about like liberal as far as the 1800s definition either. I mean, modern day liberals and leftists are two different things. So, but yeah, I'm not into this idea that these people should be leading any of this stuff. So that's about all.